Computers can be classified many different ways, by size, by function, or by processing capacity. PCs are based on the microprocessor technology that enables manufacturers to put an entire CPU on one chip. At home, the most popular use for personal computers is playing games and surfing the internet. Personal computer or PC can be defined as small, relatively inexpensive computer designed for an individual user. Workstation is a computer used for engineering applications, desktop publishing, software development, and other such types of applications. A workstation requires a moderate amount of computing power and relatively high-quality graphics capabilities. Mainframe computer is very large in size and is an expensive computer capable of supporting hundreds or even thousands of users simultaneously. Supercomputers are very expensive and are employed for specialized applications that require immense amount of mathematical calculation. Supercomputers are one of the fastest computers currently available. It is used in weather forecasting and scientific simulations. Components of a computer. All types of computers follow the same basic logical structure and perform the following 5 basic operations for converting raw input data into information useful to their users. Logical structure of a computer. Input unit. This unit contains devices with the help of which we enter data into the computer. The input devices translate the information into a form understandable by the computer. CPU, Central Processing Unit. CPU is considered as the brain of the computer. It controls the operation of all parts of the computer. CPU itself has the following 3 components: Arithmetic Logic Unit, Memory Unit, Control Unit. Output Unit. The output unit consists of devices with the help of which we get the information from the computer. Output devices translate the computer's output into a form understandable by the users. Input devices. Keyboard. The layout of the keyboard is like that of traditional typewriter, although there are some additional keys provided for performing additional functions. Keyboard is the most common and very popular input device which helps to input data to the computer. The keys on the keyboard are as follows. Mouse is the most popular pointing device. A mouse can be used to control the position of the cursor on the screen, but it cannot be used to enter text into the computer. Joystick. The function of the joystick is similar to that of a mouse. It is mainly used in computer-aided designing and playing computer games. Trackball is an input device that is mostly used in notebook or laptop computer, instead of a mouse. Scanner. Scanner is an input device, which works more like a photocopy machine. It is used when some information is available on paper and it is to be transferred to the hard disk of the computer for further manipulation. Digitizer is also known as tablet or graphics tablet as it converts graphics and pictorial data into binary inputs. A graphic tablet as digitizer is used for fine works of drawing and image manipulation applications. Microphone is an input device to input sound that is then stored in a digital form. Is used for various applications such as adding sound to a multimedia presentation or for mixing music. Barcode readers is a device used for reading barcoded data. Barcoded data is generally used in labeling goods, numbering the books, etc. Output devices. Monitors. Monitors, commonly called as visual display unit, are the main output device of a computer. There are 2 kinds of viewing screen used for monitors. Cathode ray tube. Flat panel display. Cathode ray tube monitor. The display is made up of small picture elements CRT and TS called pixels. The smaller the pixels, the better the image clarity or resolution. There are some disadvantages of CRT. Large in size. High power consumption. Flat panel display monitor. The flat panel display refers to a class of video devices that have reduced volume, weight, and power requirement in comparison to the CRT. Printers. Printer is an output device, which is used to print information on paper. Memory. A memory is just like a human brain. It is used to store data and instructions. Memory is primarily of three types. Cache memory, primary memory / main memory, secondary memory. Cache memory. Cache memory is a very high-speed semiconductor memory which can speed up the CPU. It acts as a buffer between the CPU and the main memory. Primary memory, main memory, holds only those data and instructions on which the computer is currently working. It has a limited capacity and data is lost when power is switched off. Secondary memory. This type of memory is also known as external memory or non-volatile. It is slower than the main memory. These are used for storing data / information permanently. Motherboard. The motherboard serves as a single platform to connect all of the parts of a computer together. Bits versus bytes. The difference between the two, aside from its size, usually storage space, is expressed in bytes while transmission speeds are expressed in bits. The following table lists some higher storage units. Ports. A port is a physical docking point using which an external device can be connected to the computer. Serial port. Used for external modems and older computer mouse. 2 versions, 9-pin, 25-pin model. Parallel port. Used for scanners and printers. Also called printer port. 25-pin model. PS2 port. Used for old computer keyboard and mouse. Also called mouse port. Most of the old computers provide 2 PS2 port, each for the mouse and keyboard. Universal serial bus or USB port. It can connect all kinds of external USB devices such as external hard disk, printer, scanner, mouse, keyboard, etc. VGA port. Connects monitor to a computer's video card. It has 15 holes. Similar to the serial port connector. However, serial port connector has pins, VGA port has holes. Power connector. Connects to the computer's power cable that plugs into a power bar or wall socket. Firewire port. Transfers large amount of data at very fast speed. Invented by Apple. Ethernet port. Connects the network cable to a computer. This port resides on an Ethernet card. Digital video interface, DVI port. Connects flat panel LCD monitor to the computer's high-end video graphic cards. Very popular among video card manufacturers. Hardware. Hardware represents the physical and tangible components of a computer. Examples of hardware are the following: input devices, keyboard, mouse, etc. Output devices, printer, monitor, etc. Secondary storage devices, hard disk, CD, DVD, etc. Internal components, CPU, motherboard, RAM, etc. Relationship between hardware and software. Hardware and software are mutually dependent on each other. Both of them must work together to make a computer produce a useful output. Software is a collection of programs designed to operate, control, and extend the processing capabilities of the computer itself. System software is generally prepared by the computer manufacturers. PC casing design. The PC case comes in different design or styles. The 4 common are desktop, mini tower, mid tower, and the full tower. External devices and connections. The monitor is connected to the PC unit via its video cable. Standard monitor use a D-shaped connector with thumb screws to keep this in place. Keyboard and mouse are connected to the PC unit via either PS2 or USB ports. USB versions can connect to any USB port. PS2 version has specified ports that may be identified via labels or color coding in newer system. Older keyboards use ET connector while older mouse use serial ports. Purple keyboard. Green mouse. Speaker and microphone. Connected to the specific mini jacks, color-coded, mint green speaker, pink microphone. Internal devices and connections. Expansion cards. Peripheral component interconnect is used for various devices and the accelerated graphic port that is used by video cards. Older models have industry standard architecture or extended industry standard architecture slots. The type of the expansion card can be determined by the connectors available on the metal bracket. The slot which an expansion card connects, it can easily be identified by examining contacts of the card. Hard disk drives and optical drive. Data connectors are typically via flat ribbon cables, advanced technology attachment used by hard disk drive and optical drives. ATA was originally the integrated drive electronics and later the parallel advanced technology attachment after the release of serial advanced technology attachment in 2003. Power for the devices is obtained via connections to the power supply. For most devices this is done via 4 lines terminated by a Molex plug. Memory modules. Dual inline memory module, this inserts into a slot with ejector tabs at the ends. When pushed in place, the ejector tab will hold the module. The processor is also placed directly on the motherboard. Recent processors use zero insertion force socket.